Hey there, it's Diane Forster, and welcome to I Have Today, where we talk about the art of intentional living, where we inspire, educate, and empower you through life's transitions. Welcome to the show. If you are here for the first time, I want to say thank you so much for being here. We'll have a lot of powerful information, so stick around, stay tuned as we take you on a journey today with my amazing guest and some amazing segments and stories to help you through your life know that you are exactly where you're supposed to be, that all you do is have today, and that you are so worthy and deserving of everything that you want. You get actionable tips and strategies that you can start putting into practice in your life right now, today. So welcome, welcome. If you've been here before, I want to say welcome back. So how you can find us is we are live on E360 TV, on YouTube, on my page, on my channel, I Have Today with Diane Forster, and on my Facebook page, I Have Today with Diane Forster. On the Facebook page is where I can see your comments and questions. So if you want to ask me anything, we have a Mentor Me Minute segment. You can do that there. You want to say hello, where you're calling in from, what's alive in you today, that's the place to do it. So excited. It is a brand new day. This is the second episode of our 2021 season, and I am excited to share with you. We've got an amazing guest today, Tara Garrison. She's going to be on in just a few minutes. And before we get into that, I want to talk about what the theme of the show is and the intention. So the theme today is Destitute and Disempowered to Running a Six-Figure Business. That's what our guest today did. She is an amazing woman. The lives she's changing, especially and including her own, and what she's doing in the world right now is really going to have a powerful, positive impact on you. So be sure to stick around for that. And what we do every week on the show is we set an intention. We're all about the art of intentional living. So our intention today is this. I have today to live the dream version life I envision. I have today to live the dream version life I envision. So you have goals, you have dreams, you have desires, you have things that you want to accomplish in your life. Start living as if it's already done. When you do that, then you will catch up to it. The universe is going to bring it to you and you will catch up to it. You can't become something else from the same state that you're in. So you need to start living that way. So start living that dream version of what you see, that body, that house, that relationship, that career, the travel, whatever it is that you want in your life, start operating your life from that place. Okay. So what we do here is on my Instagram page at Diane Forster Official, my amazing Kelly, who's always behind the scenes here, man in the operations, she creates the most beautiful wallpapers. So you can go to my Instagram page at Diane Forster Official, and you'll see the button there that says wallpapers. And there are tons of them there. So this week's wallpaper is already there. So what you want to do is you want to take it, you want to put it as your screensaver. Can I have my phone, please? Just want to show people what we do here. You save it as your screensaver so that you can look at it all day, every day, which is 150 times a day. Statistics say that you look at your phone. And that way it allows to make the changes on a subconscious level. And it starts to get anchored and ingrained in you. And that will allow you to start envisioning and seeing and living your dream version starting today. All right? So find that at Diane Forster Official. Get yours there today. And while you're there, please follow me. All right. So let's move into our new segment, which is called Headlines of Happiness. So there's so much negative news in the world. And what we want to do here is we just want to bring you the best stories out there that are going to make you smile. They're going to make you feel inspired and maybe move you into inspired action as well. So our first story today is, instead of charging a woman with shoplifting groceries, this police officer buys $250 worth of food for a family in need. In Massachusetts, a Somerset police officer responding to a shoplifting incident, instead of punishing her for the crime, he decided to buy her groceries instead. It was 5 days before Christmas when Officer Matt Lima responded to Stop and Shop's response to a report on shoplifting. When he arrived, he learned that two women with two young children had not scanned all of the groceries at the checkout before exiting the store. He took the two suspects aside and learned they had fallen upon hard times and attempted to take additional groceries so that they could provide a Christmas dinner for the two children. The mother of the children was not working and had some other family issues going on, and what she had taken was Christmas dinner for the kids, the officers shared. He served the two women notice not to trespass forms and refused to file criminal charges. His boss, Chief George McNeil, said, "This incident is a true testament to Officer Lima's great character and decision-making. The two children with the women reminded me of my own kids, and so I had to help them out." So he then purchased gift cards in the amount of $250 with his own money so the women would be able to purchase groceries for their Christmas dinner at another Stop and Shop location. Thank you so much, Officer Lima. Don't you love that story? I mean, hard times. They were just trying to take care of their kids. All right. Our next story, by the way, that was from the Good News Network. This one is from the Good News Network too. We love the Good News Network. When a student couldn't pay tuition fees, prison inmates rallied to raise $32,000 to help. Cy Newsom Green was a high school freshman when his world pretty much fell apart. His dad suffered a heart attack and needed a transplant. His mom was in an accident that impaired her vision. Both parents lost their jobs. Without their income, his future at the Palma School, the private all-boys Catholic high school he attended, was in peril. But he was about to get helping hands from people that he never suspected. All right. So a group of inmates at California's Soledad prison pooled their income from working jobs as prisoners. And with a little outside help, they raised most of Green's tuition to get him all the way through his sophomore year to graduation. All total, the sum was a whopping $32,000. Now, here's what I love about the story. This gesture was inspired by a book club. Jim Micheletti, an English and theology teacher at Palma High School, launched a reading program and called it Exercises in Empathy, and never imagined it would cascade into what it did, the positive repercussions that would follow. In the program, his students and teachers met regularly inside the prison to discuss books with inmates. More than a simple exchange of ideas, it became an opportunity to change students' preconceived notions about inmates and offered prisoners a chance to step out of their stereotypes. In 2016, one reading club selection, Miracle on the River Kwai by Ernest Gordon, was the perfect book to change lives. The story chronicles the transformation of a group of prisoners of war from a mindset of survival of the fittest to one of solidarity with one another and self-sacrifice. And it was through this story that inspired these men to take this action and help Cy on his mission. So, I don't know about redemption. I can say this, he told. I know that those of us who have truly transformed our lives are committed to adding value in any way that we possibly can. In the prison system, crime and punishment go hand in hand. Rehabilitation, while often cited as a goal, is usually more elusive. But if more books clubs were about to get added to the mix, who knows how many transformations we could start reading about. Don't you love that story? God, I love that so much. All right. Our final headlines of happiness happened this week in our country at our nation's capital. Here's what poet Amanda Gorman says about her speech and auditory issues. When she stood at the inauguration podium Wednesday and read her poem, The Hill We Climb, 22-year-old Amanda Gorman inspired the whole world. Gorman, a recent graduate of Harvard University, and her twin sister were born prematurely, and she was diagnosed with an auditory processing disorder in kindergarten and has struggled with speech articulation throughout her life. She was unable to pronounce the letter R sound until as recently as 2 to 3 years ago. And even to this day, sometimes she struggles with it, which is difficult when you have a poem in which you need to say the word rise 5 times. Despite those challenges, she fell in love with words and poetry when she was in 3rd grade. She used writing, she said, to get my voice on the page. And practicing and reciting her poetry became its own form of speech pathology for her. Gorman was named the first U.S. Poet Laureate in 2018. So extraordinary. She says, the only thing that can impede me is myself. Amazing. And if you guys didn't see it, go check it out on YouTube. It is like hair standing on edge, goosebumps, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So those are our headlines of happiness for this week. If you've got stories that you want to send in of headlines and happiness, you could reach out to us at info@DianeForster and send them to us there. All right. So now we're going to move on to a segment we called Magical Manifestation Moments. All right. And this is where I share with you my own stories and then stories you send in. I don't know what happened to my tongue today. I need to go find it. Stories that you send in about powerful, magical manifestation stories you've experienced. So the story I want to share with you today is one that really touched my heart. And it's a story about me and my mom, and I call it the butterfly story. And so when I moved and did my transformation and my reinvention and moved from Chicago to San Diego, I remember I moved in September, and I remember it was October, and I was meditating, and I had manifested an amazing place at the beach. Like all these amazing manifestations came into my life. But on this particular day in October, I was missing my mom terribly. My mom has been gone for 23 years. She died October 1st, 1996. So a long time ago. And so October is always a somber month for me anyway. And I was reflecting on her and missing her terribly that day. And so when I finished my meditation, I said a prayer and I said, you know what, Mom, I want a sign from you today. Please show me a sign that you're around me and do it, send me a butterfly that I know, without question, it's you. And so I went on my morning walk out on the beach and I started heading back up to my place. And as I decided to take a different route, which I'd never done before. I always walked back on the beach, but I decided to walk up the hill that day and take the street back. And so I'm walking up the hill and I get up the hill and I don't know how far I was walking, maybe, 50, 100 steps. And all of a sudden, this butterfly flies in front of my face, right in front of me, and lands on the bush right next to me. And I just burst out laughing. I knew it was my mother. So here the butterfly is sitting there on this branch. And I said, thank you so much, Mom. I knew it was her. I knew it was her. And I said, but the butterfly was all closed up. And I said, show me how beautiful you are. And then all of a sudden the butterfly opens its wingspan and it was beautiful. Oh, I forgot an important part of the story. I also said, make sure that there's yellow in it because yellow is my mom's favorite color. So the butterfly spreads its wings and it's brown and white and has these yellow stripes around the edge of it. It was gorgeous. And I took pictures of it because I have so many of these stories and people probably going, yeah, I don't believe you. So I chronicle all of this stuff. So I said, all right, what are you going to do now? Are you going to follow me? So I start walking up the hill. And I get, I don't know, another 50, 100 feet, I don't even know. And all of a sudden the butterfly comes right next to me, flutters right here, flies in front of my face and flies away. Now, as if that wasn't magical enough. So I get home and I'm starting to make myself breakfast. And all of a sudden I hear on this side, I hear on the right, listen to the Sonia Choquette reading that you had. So I had hired Sonia Choquette for a reading like 2 years ago. It was quite a while ago, maybe not that long, maybe a year or so before my transformation. And I don't know where that came from, why that popped into my head, but I always listen to spirit. As soon as I hear it, I start going into action. So I'm listening to it, and all of a sudden she references these two books. And one of the books I read right away, but she told me I needed to read both of these books right away. And all of a sudden I remember, oh my gosh, I forgot about that second book. I know I bought it, but I never read that book. I need to go find that book. And now, don't you know, I'm trying to blank on the name of it. It's called The Authentic Heart. The Authentic Heart. So I go in my bookcase and I pull out the book, and I kid you not, on the cover of this book was 2 butterflies, and one looked exactly like the butterfly that I just saw. It was just crazy. And so I'm listening to Sonia's reading, and she's telling me, you were meant to be coaching. You need to be living your life bigger. You need to be doing all of these things. You know, you are on your life's path. Start speaking more, start writing more, start coaching more, get your book done. All of these messages, all of those things transpired in that time. They were all connected. And it came from a want of me wanting to connect with my mother that day. And this is how powerful spirit is. Spirit will use every resource to get you the exact right message you need at the exact right moment, as long as you're paying attention. Okay? So that's the story that I wanted to share with you today on magical manifestation moments. I would love to hear yours too. Again, if you have stories, please share them with us. Write them into us at info@dianeforster.com. All right. Okay, so now it's time to bring on my amazing guest, Tara Garrison. Let's bring her on.
Hey, Diane.
Hey, Tara, how are you?
I'm good. Good to see you again.
So good to see you too. So Tara, let me share a little bit about you before we get into our interview together. So Tara Garrison is a peak performance coach who helps high performers, including celebrities, professional athletes, and top executives optimize their health. She is the founder of Higher, a health optimization coaching experience for high performers, and the creator of Keto In and Out, a training and nutrition system that optimizes human metabolism. She is a mom of 4, a weight training fanatic, Boston marathoner, and lover of nature. And she is also the host of Inside Out Health Podcasting and the co-host of Kick-Ass Live Podcast. Wow, Tara, so great to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be here. I'm excited to share my story. Hopefully it will help encourage others who are on a similar path.
Yes. Well, let me just share with the audience. We took our title today from you. They were, words straight out of your mouth that you shared with us. And so, your story will inspire and empower others to really step up and out of destitution or whatever it is they're experiencing to really live their life to their highest, greatest, fullest potential. And I want to add a note. I was humbled to be a guest on Tara's podcast, which was an amazing experience. And I said, you need to be on my show. You need to share your story with everybody. What you're doing in the world is extraordinary. So
thank you.
So why don't you start with your story?
Yeah.
Share with us your journey.
Yeah, I'll share. I mean, if anybody's at rock bottom right now, I'll just say, like, it might just be the best thing that ever happened to you. And it definitely was for me. And I love that you started off with a story about a butterfly, because that I have thought about that so often in my own metamorphosis. I'm always like, those freaking butterflies are so lucky. They get like private cocoons to go through that mess in. We have to go through it in public, and that's exactly what transformation feels like. Like really, if your life is going to radically change, you're going to have to tear that sucker down. It's a total rehaul. You're going to tear that house down and rebuild a new one. At least that's how it was for me. So if anybody's out there feeling like, oh, poor me, everything has crumbled to the ground, that might be a good thing. You might be right where you need to be in order to rebuild something more beautiful, more aligned with you. And I know your story is very, very similar. So I'll share. I was, gosh, man, like, I feel like just a product of the system, really, of religion and the school systems. And I really thrived in a system. I was like a little overachiever, straight A student. Everything my church said, I did it just right. And I found myself in this life of emptiness, of just doing what everyone else told me I should do, know? And I really feel like I pinnacled in that system. It was like, yeah, I did everything you guys told me to do. I got my college degree and I got married and had 4 kids, and here I am. And I'm the stay-at-home mom, because that's what you should do, if you can. And man, I was just dead inside. I was just dead
Yes.
inside, and went through some marriage problems, which propelled me into like deeper states of not enoughness, which really kickstarted my fitness transformation. And I like to share that because I think so often an unhealthy motivation, something that is, driving you from an unhealthy place, can actually be for a purpose, and you can heal and transform, but maybe you needed that thing in that point in your life. So that was it for me. I felt not enough in my marriage, and it kickstarted me to have a massive fitness transformation. And lo and behold, that was not the issue in the marriage. My body was not the issue, but it was wonderful because as I went through the path of getting extremely fit, going from, I was overweight after my fourth baby, just like the story of millions of women worldwide, just couldn't, no matter what I did. I was running full marathons. I was trying so hard, constantly exasperated, just, it's like, this is never going to work. And when I finally started to figure it out, man, it lit a fire under me. And so while I was going through a hard thing in my marriage, I was also like, wow, this is really cool, actually, the body, and wow, it's really capable, and look at all these things it can do. And so there's this duality happening inside me. I love fitness because it was the gateway to personal awakening for me. It was like a gateway drug. And
love that.
And I learned lessons through the personal development that you have to go through in order to change your body that really woke me up. And helped me become strong emotionally as well. And I ended up leaving my religion that I was in. I finally had enough strength inside of myself to start questioning some things. And I was Mormon. And I'm not saying anything negative about the Mormon church. I'm just saying it's not aligned with me, not at all. Yeah. And it was, though, I had dedicated my whole life to it. I lived in a Mormon neighborhood here in Utah. It was all Mormons. I went to the Mormon college. My whole life was built around Mormonism. I was in leadership. And so I started to have some questions, and it took a tremendous amount of courage for me to doubt my faith, And so after 3 weeks of internet research, very simple internet research, and backing it up through looking in their own sources, I was faced with the fact that everything I had built my life around was based on lies and manipulation, at least from what I was reading. And that was very difficult because in order to be true to myself and what I now felt, I had to walk away from my entire life. All my friends, I didn't know a single person who wasn't Mormon. And so that was scary, but I did it because I knew in myself that I had to do what was right in my heart. And I was like, I'm not going to pretend to believe something that I obviously see is not true to me anymore. So I did that, and it was worse than I actually thought it would be. I was very gossiped about. It was crazy, but it was worth it. I'd do it a million times over. I got divorced 3 months after that because my marriage was held on to by the religion, because when in their religion, when you get married, it's your highest promise you make to God. So you don't get divorced unless you absolutely have to, or you're breaking your highest promise to God. When I realized that wasn't true to me anymore, I got divorced. So within a 3-month time period, my entire life completely changed. And that little whisper, that little pause you were talking about, that little, if you're still enough to hear it, if you actually pay attention and you're aware, I had a moment. It was extremely sacred to me. I hope everybody has those moments sometimes with spirit or higher consciousness or something, but it was very clear. It was, girl, you have a role in health and fitness. And if you don't go through with this divorce and this life change, you're never going to see it out. And I knew that was true. I knew I would play small and be like, never mind, I'm too selfish. I should just keep being a stay-at-home mom. And it's too much on the family. I know I needed that growth. So I did it. It was scary. I ended up after that in a very unhealthy, abusive, manipulative relationship for 1.5 years because I believe I was primed for that. My way of thinking was other people know better than me. Just listen to whatever the man says. I had not overcome any of my mindset patterns at that time. And I lost everything. I made some horrible decisions in that relationship. I just kind of did whatever he said. And I, at the end of that, I walked away with, I had lost my life savings. I had, $80,000. I was filing bankruptcy. I literally did not have a penny, not even a quarter in my car. I didn't have anything. And I was losing that car in the bankruptcy, and I had nowhere to go. I had no family that could take me in. So yeah, it was really scary and really freaking humbling being this like superstar, high achieving, straight A student, graduated top of my class, all the awards in college. Also, when I was married, we were very, had everything, perfect, 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 always made perfect decisions. So it was like really humbling for me to be in this place, and it was beautiful though. It was so needed because it was a wake up call. I call it my body slam from the universe. I'm like, thank you. Because sometimes you can get gentle nudges, and sometimes it's like if higher consciousness is really trying to push you in your purpose, they might body slam you. That's what, at least that's how I feel. They're like, we're gonna slam this door shut. You're not getting it. We're gonna help you out here. That's what it felt like to me. And luckily, I had a friend that did let me stay at their house during that time, and I slowly rebuilt. But that wake up call was so needed. It was like, dude, you've got some patterns that have led you into this place right here. This is the results of your life. Take a look. So you got some work to do. And it was beautiful. I went on like a freaking walkabout. I stopped dating. I stopped really hanging out with people that much. And you know how they say the 5 people you hang around most are the people that you become like? Well, I decided the 5 people I hung around most were going to be like Tony Robbins and Jim Rohn and Wayne Dyer and all Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, all the spiritual greats I could get my hands on. Anybody that I desired to become like, they were my new best friends via YouTube, books, podcasts. It's crazy how you can change your life almost for free on the internet these days if you just have this desire. Yeah, maybe a handful of books on Audible. So yeah, I started doing some deep work. I hired coaches, mentors, kind of like therapy, but not quite, a little different form of it. Really started to deep dive on my patterns. And within 3 months of really going after it on my own, I got to this place, by the way, where I almost gave up. And if you're in that place, like maybe you're going after like a professional dream and it's entrepreneurship, and you're like, dude, I'm being irresponsible. I'm crazy. I really thought I had gone crazy. I was like, maybe I am actually delusional and I need to like get a grip and just go get a job. So I actually went and applied at a job at a dentist's office to be a dental assistant after all this money I had invested in health coaching and experience and all of it. Like, that's how much it pushed me, like I doubted myself, and I went into Walmart and bought scrubs and everything. And I got so depressed. I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And finally, that was the pivotal moment. Everything changed. It was just like, dude, I'm going to do this. If other people can do this, why can't I do this? I'm smart. I'm driven. Like, what are you doing? And it's just something snapped in me. And within 3 months of really believing in myself and really implementing, honestly, mostly the habits and Think and Grow Rich, within 3 months, I had doubled my income from the little job that I had found in that interim, working for a friend who's in the health industry. I had doubled what I was making for him. And it was significant. And by the end of that year, I made 6 figures in in less than a year of my first year of business. And it was like, man, it was such a sacred moment. It wasn't really about the money. Like, it definitely wasn't about the money. It was, I can't even explain the levels of heart connection and growth and amazingness that I was experiencing with my clients. But also, like, as a former stay-at-home mom, and really having to like push and being like bankrupt and with nothing, to see what could happen so quickly when I truly believed in myself, it was a sacred moment. It was like, dude, you got this. You can do this. Like, keep going. And man, and since then, like, it's so beautiful. Once you kind of get the money piece out of the way and you're like, okay, yeah, like that doesn't matter. I'm good. Like I'm secure. I can, I have a warm home and food. Like, once you're taken care of, man, then you can really start to drive into your purpose and how you want to serve. And so that's been my story. And it just keeps getting better and better, working with my clients and helping them deep dive on themselves. The things that I've learned, both on my health side, like DNA, blood, hair minerals, like all these little micro things that help optimize you, all the way to the mindset and looking at these stories and these traumas you haven't dealt with and these triggers, like, why is that triggering, helping people through all that stuff now. It's incredibly rewarding because it gives purpose to everything that I went through. And it's just so cool to see people also, I just got a client message me the other day saying that the biggest thing that she's gained in working for me is self-love, and she's like, and it's so good to know that I can say that in like true confidence. And, that's like, forget millions of dollars. Who cares about that crap? Like that to me, that is the most like beautiful gift that a client can give back to me. So yeah, that's my life right now.
Yeah. You can't get a better testimonial than that. I love myself. Yeah. I know it's the most rewarding. Truly. I get it. Oh my gosh. All right, Tara, what an incredible journey you've been on and go on. And there's so many nuggets in this that I want to highlight. You okay, this is for everybody. You ultimately knew it was you. You were the one blocking it, and sabotaging it. And you knew, you were going through the motions and going through the changes and dealing with all the self-doubt, all the story, all of those things, to the point where you hit another breaking point by taking that job and going, no, I'm that's it. I know I had the same, I had a declaration moment, and I just put my foot down and, put the line in the sand, and like, that was it. But that and you were willing, this is such a big thing. I'm so glad you highlighted this, that you were willing to walk away from everything you knew to find this, to live your purpose.
Yep.
To be on the path that you were meant to be on. And man, do we get tested. And now, don't you think, now looking back, now I'm not saying it's all sunshine and roses, because it's not. There is, there's so much work involved with being an entrepreneur and doing the work, although it's so rewarding, because what we're doing is we're serving in the way that we were called to serve.
Yep.
But for anybody out there who's like you and I were, you're living this outside appearance, have it all life, what looks like it's supposed to be everything that I thought I wanted. Everything's perfect.
Yep.
And yet it's so unfulfilling on the inside.
Yep.
What advice do you have for them listening? Like, what would be the first step you would take to make a change?
Oh man, my advice is, you already know what you need to do. You just have to have the courage to act on it now. You already know. Yeah. It's coming up over and over and over and over. And it's just going to keep coming up. And from my experience, it's just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse until you listen to it.
Yes.
So listening to your intuition, that inner guidance system, once I fully trusted in it, when I had that breaking point moment, it was like I have no other way to describe it except I am like living life on a magical carpet ride full of wonder and awe, and like, how in the world do all these doors keep opening, and like these incredible connections? Like, it's mind blowing. It literally feels like I am living in magic. And that I went from like hell and like sadness and despair and like ultimate stress and fight or flight and survival. I went from that, when I wasn't listening to my intuition and just pleasing and selling myself short and just not listening to it. And as soon as I started listening to it, everything opened. So it's just like, I don't need to tell you anything except to encourage you to do what you know you need to do. And it takes courage sometimes. And guess what? Other people aren't going to understand. Who cares? They can't understand. Don't expect them to understand. If they're not on this vibration, if they're not doing it, they're not going to understand. You will meet other people on your path, like Diane and I, that are like, oh yeah, we get it. Yeah, of course. Like, yeah. You got to listen to it. You got to be brave, and you got to go through all those things. But the people, if you haven't historically been listening to your intuition like that, and you're afraid of what people think and judgment and all that, the people that you've surrounded yourself with are also like that. So they're not going to understand. Who cares? I look back at some of those people now from church and stuff that I was terrified of what they would think. I'm like, wow, I can't believe I cared that much about what that dude thought of me. Like, who cares? So you already know what you need to do. You just need to have the courage to act on it.
Yes. And also know that it's not going to be smooth. It's not going to be, I mean, it's going to be bumpy. Your resilience is going to get tested and built up. And you're going to look back and go, man, I survived all this, like you, like me, like, and it made me so much better, so much more grateful, so much wiser and fearless, honestly fearless, where you do get to the point where you are riding the magic carpet ride because you know there's nothing you can't do. Be or have, and that you are following the intuition and you are following the guidance. And when you do, and not chasing money, because that never ever works.
Don't do that. Yeah.
Follow your path to your purpose and your passion, and watch what happens.
Totally.
I love this so much. Well, you know how much I love you. So,
likewise.
All right. Is there any final piece of advice that you have that you would like to share with the audience?
The last thing I'll say is start with gratitude. You just mentioned that. And the reason why that's so powerful, it's like, you hear that and it's like, I'm not trying to like be fluffy. I'm trying to teach you like the ultimate hack into seeing that you can do anything, because once you really practice gratitude all the time, like you're like, I'm so grateful I have this phone or this computer or whatever you're watching this on. I'm so grateful I'm in a climate controlled environment. I'm so grateful that I don't have like freaking military police outside my house right now trying, and living in fear. I'm so grateful I have food. When you start thinking like all the time grateful, you see that you have it all. You already have it all. And so you just start to live in this vibration of course I can have anything because I already have everything. So that's my, just make a daily practice, like mine is meditation, gratitude, and then personal development for an hour every morning. Get off your phone, stop living other people's dream, start creating, have 1 hour of power for yourself, and do it first thing. You're not going to do it later. Quit lying to yourself and say you're going to do it 3 p.m. or before bed. You're not. Just do it first thing in the morning, wake up early, meditate, tap in, put your hand on your heart. If your heart's a muscle, as a trainer, we palpate muscles that we want to activate. Palpate your heart, activate it, express gratitude, and you will see that anything is possible.
I love it. I love it so much. Well, thank you so much for being here. Okay, so let people know what services you have available and how to get in touch with you.
Yeah. So my coaching, yes, we do training and nutrition, and I have heavily invested in my education. It's good stuff, but also we deep dive on your physiology and your psychology to see what might be holding you back. So physiology, what I mean is DNA. Do you have some mutations that might be holding you back? Your blood testing, hair minerals. Minerals are precursors to hormones and can lead to things like anxiety and depression if your minerals are off. It's huge. We do sleep tracking, heart rate variability, blood sugar, body composition. We go deep diving on that, but we also go into your psychology, and that's this stuff. This is all the stuff that I have learned that has helped me go from disempowered to empowered and so full of love and light and confidence. That's my personal development that I do in my coaching as well. And it's called Higher. My website is Garrison, TARA.com. And so that's my one-on-one coaching. And then of course, if you just want an online program to get your body on point and fix up your metabolism, that's my keto in and out. And it's a full year of keto and then shifting into bringing carbohydrates back in afterwards. So your metabolism is running the way it was always meant to.
That's awesome. All right. Well, we have a banner up right there. So if you want more information about Tara, go to taragarrison.com. And then be sure to follow her on social media too. You're just amazing. So
thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing your journey today. You've inspired and given hope to so many people, and you never give up on your dream, right? You listen to the intuition and you follow the sign and you take the road no matter what.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Diane.
My pleasure. All right. We'll see you soon. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Love her so much. She's just extraordinary, what she's doing, and brave voice in the world. So, all right. So here we go. Excuse me. So our next segment in the show is our Mentor Me Minute. So this is where we take your questions, either live in the comments section. Let me see. And I'm not on social on here. I don't know if there's any questions coming in, but I know that we have questions in the queue. So let's go, Kelly. Let's see what's going on. I'm 35 and out of work. I'm looking for work and not finding anything. I can't seem to get my confidence back. What advice do you have for me? This is Cindy in San Diego. Okay, well, Cindy, couple things. I'm going to tap into the spiritual side before I do the practical side. So the spiritual side is this. There might be a reason why. It might be that you're looking in the wrong direction. I have seen for myself and all of my clients, when things are not working out and you're bucking up against, the wall or the current, it's because the universe is trying to point you in a different direction. Everything is working for you. Always, 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 no matter what. That is what's going on. So I would suggest that you take this time, don't get in the scarcity mind thinking. I know you have responsibilities. I know you need money and all of that, but take some very intentional time to go in, like Tara just said, and tap into your intuition and ask the questions. God, Spirit, what am I here for? What's my purpose? What's my path? How can I serve? How can I be using my life? And then just start to pay attention. Okay. So start doing that every day. Journal about it. And this sounds esoteric. It's the most important work that you can do for yourself. Start automatic writing and journaling what your ideal life would like to be. Don't put it in a container. Think bigger. Like, I would like to make X number of dollars per year doing Y and serving Z people. I'd like to work 4 days a week. I'd like to travel. Whatever it is. And then what will happen in the science side of it is your reticular activating system will start to point you in the direction of those things. Start doing that, and that's going to start building up your confidence, okay? The last thing I'll say about it is go to a year from now, imagining you're already in that amazing job that you want, doing the thing you love, working with the people that you want to work with, making the kind of money that you want to be making. Do this work. I'm telling you it works. Okay. All right. So I wish you luck. Keep in touch with me. Okay. All right. Okay, Denise in Austin. I'm gaining so much weight because of the lockdown. I don't have the energy to do anything about it because I'm so tired all the time. How do I get out of this rut? Oh, this is so huge. And let me tell you, I put on a few LBs myself, but I'm committed to changing that too. Obviously, this is going on. We're sedentary a lot of the time. We're locked in. Gyms are closed. There's all these reasons and excuses. So here's what I'm going to say to you. You've got to first do something to boost your energy. All right. So do something that's going to allow you to feel like you have micro wins. Don't think about the long goal. Like, if you want to lose 20 pounds, sometimes that's too much. Think about micro wins. Like, what could you do this week? Maybe you could lose just 2 pounds this week. Maybe you could just make different choices and gamify it. Make it fun. Gamify this. So when you're making it a game, all of a sudden you're going to have more energy around it. You're focusing on the negative. You're focusing on the lack. You're on being tired, on being exhausted, on being overweight. And that's low vibrating energy and frequencies, and it's keeping you down. So what could you do? Small, simple things, 1% better every day, like I say, that will help elevate you to that next level. What could you do to boost your energy? Maybe you could just stand up and do 25 jumping jacks. Maybe you could stop and do deep breathing for a minute, just keep doing that. Anything you can do to start elevating that, and then gamify it for yourself. What could you do right now to boost it? Choose a positive thing. Choose an apple versus a cookie. Choose water over wine. Choose anything positive. Just micro wins, okay? And set short, achievable goals so that you don't get overwhelmed, okay? All right, I hope that helped you, Denise. All right. So if you want to send in your questions to us for the Mentor Me Minute segment, you can send them into us at dianeforster.com/mentor me, and for your chance for me to coach you live right here on the show. All right. Okay. What's next, Kelly? It's the word of the week time. All right. So let's do it. So Kelly picks a word and I have no idea what it is. And what I'm going to do is help you reframe this word. So here we go, Kelly. Give it to me. What'd you give me to? Oh, overwhelm. Okay. Now I like to replace that word with the same letter that it starts with. So why don't we replace overwhelmed with overjoyed? Okay. So how do we do that? So overwhelm is that feeling like I have too much to do. I have too much going on, causes stress and all of that. We get, confusion and analysis paralysis, right? You tend up, it causes procrastination. You tend to be less productive, right? And sometimes you have so much to do, you don't know what to do. So you don't do anything. But what if we pivoted this? And I love this. It's coming to me right now. I'm getting the download. Overjoyed. Instead, when you feel overwhelmed, say, I am overjoyed. How grateful am I that I have all of these things that I get to do? I get to do this, right? What's the opposite of that anyway? Boredom, right? Would you rather have a lot of things to do or be bored? Because you ever notice that when you do get those lulls, sometimes you only want to be on vacation for so long, not a lot of time. And I know many people go, they can't wait to retire, and then they retire and then they go back to work because they're bored. So what if you pivot that overwhelm and just wipe that word out of your vocabulary, instead say, I am overjoyed. I feel so blessed and lucky that I have all of these amazing things to do. And I'm telling you, it's the attitude of gratitude. It's that subtle a shift that you can change in your life and turn your overwhelm into overjoy. All right. I hope that was good. All right. So quick little recap of the show today. So what we talked about today, our theme for the show was Destitute and Disempowered to running a 6-figure business. And we had on our amazing guest, Tara Garrison, who shared her story, how she went from a life growing up in a, Mormon religion and lifestyle, being married, with raising 4 kids, being the doting, dutiful wife, to her soul's calling and being able to reinvent her life and walk away from everything to doing the extraordinary work that she's doing right now. Incredible story. Her intention statement was, I have today to live the dream version life I envision. And you do. You absolutely do. All right. So again, that wallpaper is available at Diane Forster Official on my Instagram page under wallpapers. So get it there, save it to your screensaver so that you can look at it and implement it. All right. We shared our headlines of happiness and our magical manifestation moments. And I shared with you the butterfly story. And now what I want to do is I want to say to you, we do mindset manifestation work around here at I Have Today. In my coaching practice, I do transformational coaching. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life. You can be, do, and have anything. You can change anything. You are limited by nothing. The only thing that limits you is your limiting beliefs. And the only one that's stopping you is you. All right. But the mindset work has to be done every day. And what I did is I developed a program called the Mindset and Manifestation Challenge. It's a 6-day challenge that's absolutely free to you, that's going to help you uncover your limiting beliefs, where you're stuck, where you got that programming, and then how to wipe it out, how to replace it. So the science of it, and then the practical steps on how you can remove that and start living in a more empowered, inspired, happy, fulfilling life, truly. So that is available to you. And here's the thing, do the work. It's 20 minutes a day, but you got to do the work. So make the commitment to you and choose commitment over convenience, because it's going to change your life. So that's available for you at mindsetandmanifestationchallenge.com. And that's the free 6-day mindset and manifestation challenge. So you too can master your mindset and become a magnetic manifester. All right. And then don't forget to follow us on social media at Diane Forster Official. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and my podcast at I Have Today with Diane Forster. And what we're going to do now is we're going to end the show with our powerful mantra meditation that we do every single week that will change you on a spiritual, on a mental, on an emotional, on a physical, on a cellular level, so that you can leave this show feeling more inspired and empowered and truly healed, feeling better that you did at the end than you did at the beginning. All right. So here's what we're doing. If you're watching this live, put down your devices and distractions. It's only going to take a couple of minutes. Put your hands on your laps, your legs uncrossed, feet on the floor. If you're driving, obviously you just listen to this, but you can get into a meditative zone while you're driving. Just be very, very careful. All right. So we're going to take in 2 deep breaths, and we're going to breathe in for the count of 4, hold it for 4 seconds, and then breathe out for 8, as if you're blowing out birthday candles. Get it all out, all of that energy. All right. We're going to do that twice and then just listen to the words. Okay, here we go. Ready? Breathe in for 4. Hold it for 4. Breathe out for 8. Do it one more time. Breathe in for 4. Hold it for 4. And breathe out for 8. I have today to love my life. Something really good is going to happen to me today. I can feel it. Miracles big and small. I notice them all. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. I have today to live the dream version life I envision in my mind. I know I am meant for more. I am meant for extraordinary things. And each and every day, in those micro decisions I make, I will move closer and closer to those dreams. My life getting better and better and better. I know that it's not a sprint. It is the marathon. It is the slow action steps, the progress and the momentum I make every day to make my dreams come true. My ultimate goal is happiness and fulfillment. And I choose today to find the happiness, joy, and fulfillment in each and every moment. I set intentions to live with happiness, joy, and fulfillment all day, every day, in every exchange that I make, in every little thing that I do, from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed. And it doesn't matter what age I am. It doesn't matter where I am in the world right now. It doesn't matter what is going on in the world. The world that matters is my world. And when I live in authenticity and I listen to my intuition and I follow the guidance, I trust, I allow, I receive. It's fulfilling, it's easy, and it's fun. And I know that there is no storm that I cannot weather. I am powerful, I am worthy, I am deserving. I am ultimate love, and I am here on earth to live this purpose. I am so grateful for the tools and the resources out there that are available to me for free to keep me empowered, intentional, and aligned every single day. Like this show right here, like Tara's work, like so many others who have paved the way before me. I am not alone in this world and on this journey. I feel so loved and supported, and I will ask for the help that I need so that I can receive it. I am so happy and grateful to have the awareness of this now. So from this day forward and every day beyond, I will live to my highest, greatest, fullest potential. I have today to love my life, and so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, if you would like more mantra meditations, you can go to my YouTube channel at I Have Today with Diane Forster, where I offer you manifest love, manifest money, manifest success, manifest happiness, and other things and free tools there. I want to thank you all for being here on the show today. I am nothing without you. My team and I are so grateful for you to be on this journey and to do this work. And remember, all you have is today. Squeeze the juice out of it and live to your highest, greatest, fullest potential. I will see you next time. For more information on me, watch the closing credits. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.